Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel, Chatting with Chops. Today we're going to make some little mini pecan pies. And I thought we would shake it up a little bit as usual and put some maple syrup in them instead of corn syrup and see how they taste. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to make some mini pecan pies today, but I thought what we would start out with, I would show you how to make a pie shell. I've done this in a couple other videos, but did not designate one just for making a pie shell. So here we go. First thing we want to do is put in our 1 1/4 all-purpose flour into, I just get a big bowl because I want plenty of room to move around. And then we're going to put our 1/2 teaspoon of salt in there. And then we're just gonna stir that a little bit. All right, so the next thing we wanna do is put in 1/3 cup of shortening. This is what makes this pie crust vegan as well. There's no animal ingredients in this pie crust, so I can always make my pie crust vegan. But we're gonna do 1/3 cup of shortening, and this is one of those plunger type measuring cups. So I'm gonna put that all in there. And now I'm just going to use my little dough blender and get my vegetable shortening mixed into my flour real well. Alright, so now you see I've pretty much got the Crisco broken up into little pieces. Can you see that? They're in little tiny pieces. And now we're going to start adding some water. The recipe recommends 3 to 4 tablespoons of water, and I usually try to start out with 1 on each side of my bowl. Okay. We're just going to use our fork to mix it in. Okay, so there is your pie crust, and so basically what you need to do at this point is just flatten that out and roll it out to whatever dish you're going to use, and cook it as the recipe requires. So there you go. That's how to make some nice homemade pie crust. So to make our little mini pecan pies, I have my pie crust, and then I'm just going to take different sizes of pie plates and maybe a few spring foams, because we're just experimenting today. We're going to have fun experimenting on how to make some little mini pecan pies. But I have my pie shell here, and so now I'm just going to kind of break it up in between my different pans. Okay, we have our pie crust, so now it is time to make us some pecan pie mix. All right, so it's time to actually make the pecan pie filling for our beautiful little unbaked pie crust that we have back here. So first thing we need to do is put our 3 eggs into our big mixing bowl. And then we need to put our sugar, which is 2/3 of a cup of sugar. And our corn syrup. And instead of using corn syrup, I wanted to try something a little bit different. So we're using maple syrup, and this is actually a dark color. Different type of maple syrup. So we need 1 cup, which is a lot of maple syrup. But if you've ever had a pecan pie before, you know how super sweet they are. Okay. And there is our 1 cup. Oh my goodness, that is going to be luxurious. And then the last thing we need to do is put in our melted butter. Right? And we're just going to mix that all in real quick. All right, we have our pie filling all mixed in. I've got my oven preheating to 350 degrees right now. And last thing we need to do, isn't that pretty? I still have a little bit of butter that hasn't melted on the top, but that is going to be okay. The oven will take care of that. I'm just making sure everything's mixed in from the bottom. And then the last thing I want to do is put in my beautiful pecans. So we're using, you can really use whatever size pecans you want to. My recipe says pecan halves, but so I've got some nice pretty pecans that we're going to use for our pie. So it's asked for about 1 cup, and Kroger has very happily measured this out for me. So I'm just going to dump the whole thing in. There we go. And just mix those in really good. I also got some pecans left over from another recipe. They're just little bits. So I'm going to add that in too, just to give a little extra flavor. I mean, I don't think you can have too many pecans in a pecan pie. I don't know. We might be fixing to find out. Okay. All right, now I'm just going to start pouring this into my pie crust and see how many I can get filled in. I think this is going to be my prettiest one, so I'm going to do it first. I'm just going to take my bowl and just pour it in. There we go. Okay. I don't want to fill them up too full just yet. I want to see how much filling I'm going to have. I also still have to carry them to the stove, so you get them too full and you can't carry them. Okay. That one looks really good. All right, and this is my deep dish one, so let's see how much it takes to fill this one up. Oh boy. So we're going to put these in a 350-degree oven. Now, a normal full pie crust and pie has to cook about 50 minutes. Since these are smaller, we're going to cook them for about 15 to 20 minutes and look to see if the pie crust is getting nice and golden brown, and then we'll know they probably need to come out. So we're just going to cook them, and then I will bring you back and show you how beautiful they are once they're all done. So they're out of the oven. Here is my little deep dish one. It seemed to overflow. Shockingly, I put it on aluminum foil so in case it leaked out of the bottom, but it leaked out of the top. So we're gonna let that one sit. And then here are my other 2 pretty ones. There's the nice pretty glass mini pie plate that looks really, really good. And then there's my little mini pie plate. And it overflew a little bit. So we're just gonna let them sit here and cool off really, really good, and then we'll cut into one and see how they look. So let's open one of these up and see how they look. I thought we would do the smallest one first. Isn't he pretty? So I'm just going to take my knife and move it around the edge and make sure nobody is stuck. So I'm going to bring that out. Look at that. Didn't that turn out fantastic? No soggy bottom. Here, let me zoom y'all out a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Isn't that awesome? That just turned out fantastic. Hope y'all like this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll keep making awesome bakes for you, and I will catch you on the next one.